Welcome to the Make and Design Podcast. I'm your host, Carina Gardner. On this podcast, we're unraveling the everyday joys and dilemmas of design, making, and business. For makers who want to be designers and for designers who are makers, this is your inside scoop to help you grow your business and bring more creativity to your life.
Hey guys, I have been thinking about how you guys can continually increase your experience. Now, the number one way we get better as designers is by increasing experience, which means we're designing every day, but we're also doing other activities. So I thought that this would be a great episode for us to talk a little bit about that. So the first thing I want to tell you is that the first experience we get as becoming designers is simply by doing the work, right? Learning the software, getting in, designing every day so that we learn what we need to do to become great designers. But one thing that has popped up over and over again in our program is that we find that our designers who end up getting freelance jobs or they get a deal with a manufacturer, which it happens in our program all the time. We have like kind of a special agency where we find things for our designers that, aren't outside of our network. So a lot of designers will get, a special manufacturing deal if it comes up or a special freelance job if it comes up. And it is fascinating to me because those designers who have gotten that, they feel like real designers. Why? Because they're working specifically for a client. And one of the things that we're seeing in that, by increasing that experience of doing freelance work, is they understand better what customers want. So they become a better overall designer. So I really believe, and we actually even have a course that's like a freelance course within our own network for Design Suite. But one of the things that we're always pushing is, guess what, guys? Literally, if you can just get one freelance job or you can get one little client-based job, it is going to increase your experience exponentially because suddenly you will start thinking like a business person. You'll be starting to think the way customers are thinking. And that's really the gap that we see that we're always teaching in our program. One of the gaps we see is that people don't understand what customers are asking for or customers want. And it's actually the topic of my next book coming out in the spring because it's such a big deal. It's the main topic. The name won't be customers. We have a totally different name for it. But it's really to talk about dealing, thinking, making things palatable for customers. So I think you guys are going to love it. But more than anything, I just think that increased experience really does a lot for you. Now, what are other things you can do to increase your experience? Of course, getting a manufacturing deal, doing a little freelance work. And by the way, all freelance work is different, okay? There are the big jobs where you're doing something. We had a designer who did a huge mural for a gymnastics company, and it took us months to creative direct and get there. But then we also have other jobs, and these little jobs are maybe a friend sees something that you made, like an SVG file that you made that's in one of your shops. And she was like, we are looking for a new logo. I think you could, we like that logo. We think we would like it if we could, fix it up in X, Y, and Z and make it for our logo. And you're like, sure, I'll do that for you. That's a freelance job, okay? If someone asks you for something and they want you to make it for them, that is a custom freelance job, okay? That is design work. So often I think in this business, because, we're in online licensing, people will say, well, but I didn't get any sales. And I'm like, but you just did like $3,000 in design work. Well, yeah, but that wasn't like online sales. I'm like, that's design work. That's that's a job. Okay. So that counts, you guys. That's part of our overall design experience. And that's just like taking a contract from a manufacturer. You've just taken it from a different small business. And it will increase your experience exponentially, okay? It's huge. Okay, what are other things we can do? Definitely being in more than one shop. Now, do I like people to be in one shop for a long period of time? Yes, and we have timelines for the way we do things in Design Suite. But I think when you do have multiple shops, it does allow you to see a lot more than the regular person. It also gives you more flexibility. It gives you multiple streams of income. There are all kinds of reasons for having multiple shops, okay? Online shops. What are other things we can do to increase our experience? working with other designers. Now, this is a tough one because it feels like, you guys remember this in high school or in college, group projects. There's always the person in the group project who does not pull their weight. You guys know what I'm talking about. They don't pull their weight. They don't help with the assignment. They show up half late. Like, they don't do hardly anything. Everybody else in the group compensate, or even worse, there's usually like one person in the group who like does a lot of the work and everybody else is just kind of along for the ride. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? But I think actually there is a ton to be said about increasing your experience by networking and growing your network of designers. And I will say this, so a lot of jobs come to me that I cannot take. I just can't, all right? And even the network I've created by simply having a design program that now I can take my stuff and give to my designers to do is amazing, okay? And so as you increase your network, one of the things that happens is that jobs will come to you, things will come to you that will really help you out, that will help you find other jobs, that will give you experience, and will help you understand the way clients are thinking. I just think it's a really powerful thing, and it does increase your experience, okay? So go look for these little things all over in your life. Like maybe you're doing licensing right now, or you're doing online shops right now, or whatever. Continue to figure out ways to get other experience, because it's going to allow you to pivot as a designer and increase that experience. And the biggest thing when it comes to increased experience is the sheer amount of knowledge you have. The more knowledge you have about the industry, the more knowledge you have about customers, the more knowledge you have about the way platforms work, all it does is benefit you. And then I understand things that happened 15 years ago. Some of you weren't around then doing this, but like 15 years ago, I understand how it evolved. And because I understand the way it evolved, I understand better now how to prepare and create files that are going to work for right now. And that's just like, seriously, it's a time thing. Just getting that experience so that you know that what you know is important. And there is not a monetary number you can put on that. There really isn't, because it really is about growing and building that expertise that is so key. You guys, if you have read Design, Profit, and Prosper, which is my current book right now on Amazon, there is a whole section about experience. It's one of our 3 hurdles. And the more experience we can get, the better we will become as designers. So go and look for it. Build yourself out so you can get those experiences, because it will only make you stronger, make you better. All right. Thanks so much for being here, you guys. Make sure, if you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel and you're here hanging out with me at youtube.com/Carina Gardner, and maybe you're on the podcast, come over to the YouTube channel, please subscribe to the channel. We are trying to grow this channel. We want to reach more ears, reach more designers, so that we can, first of all, the market will get better, you guys. We want a better design market out there, okay? So things should be looking good. And second of all, if you're on the podcast, we would love for you to write us a review. The reviews are key for growing. And, we're here 3 times a week giving you guys free content. And we hope that that justifies about 2 minutes of your time to go on and just write a review for us and tell us that you are enjoying the content here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys soon.
Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.